All right, good evening, everybody. Sorry we're starting a little late. My name's Adem. I'm the Chair of License and Permits Committee. It is 6:10 PM on Wednesday, March 1st, 2023. I'm going to go over some ground rules. No one may speak until granted the floor. CB11 members, if you have a question about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand through Zoom. If you click the participants icon, the participants panel should appear, and you should find the raise hand function there. If you still have technical difficulty, you may click the chat icon and relay your difficulty to the staff. The chat function should not be used for CB11 business or questions about agenda topics. All such remarks should be made on the record by raising your hand through Zoom. Chat should only be used to alert us to any technical difficulties you are having, or to state in writing information like an email address that was already stated aloud on the record during the meeting. Please keep your questions and comments succinct and germane to the discussion. Members of the public, if you have a question or comment about the subjects on the agenda, please raise your hand through Zoom and wait to be recognized. All right, so I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6:11 PM. And Marlene, if you don't mind taking the roll.
Sure. Adem Briha,
Present.
Carlos Diaz, Rosa Diaz,
Present.
Angela Donadell is excused. Judith Ferraro,
Present.
Wanda Hopkins,
Present.
Eugene Rodriguez, and Jordan Wright.
Present.
You have a quorum, Adem.
Okay, thank you. With that being said, if I don't see any objections, we will adopt this month's agenda. Seeing no objections, then this month's agenda has been adopted. If I don't see any objections, we will adopt the February committee minutes. And seeing no objections, then the February committee minutes are adopted. Next slide, please. Okay, announcements. Mayor Adams issued Emergency Executive Order 291, which extends the emergency declaration for 30 days through March 21st, 2023. Next slide, please. I don't have any informational updates. Does anybody? Okay, next slide, please. And with that said, we will start with the liquor licenses. And number one is Quesadillas Matty Corp. It's a new application for a full liquor license for a restaurant located at 2141 Second Avenue on 110th Street. Before I allow the applicant to speak, I just want to remind everybody on the committee that we did approve this applicant, but I believe they didn't indicate the Sidewalk Cafe when they submitted their papers to us. So SLA denied that application and then asked them to resubmit their papers to us, indicating that they do have a Sidewalk Cafe, which upon my review, they now indicate that they do. So with that being said, do we have an owner, representative, employee from that the business who would like to just say a few words? The floor is yours. I see Quesadilla Matty Corp, but you're muted. Feel free to unmute yourself. Just introduce yourself if you want and tell us a little bit about your business. I mean, we're familiar with it because we've seen this application, but procedure says for a new application, we'd like for you to speak.
Hi, can you hear me? I'm sorry, I wasn't able to unmute.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, just state your name for the record and tell us. I mean, I think I went over it, but if you want to re-explain what I said, and that's it.
You did. I think you mentioned everything. It's a family restaurant, Mexican restaurant, family owned. A lot of our customers have been requesting to be able to have beer and, you know, something to drink with their food. We were approved by you, and it was just that slight mistake that was not submitted.
Okay,
And
yep. Okay, sorry, I thought you were done. Perfect. With that being said, then, are there any questions or comments from the committee or anyone from the public? If not,
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm not seeing any, which I'm not surprised because it is pretty straightforward. But I'll wait another 10 seconds, but I'm also welcoming anyone to make a motion if they would like to regarding this.
Motion to approve?
Jordan?
Motion to approve?
No, I'm just curious, is that Jordan? I can't tell who's
Yeah,
speaking.
that's Jordan. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yes.
no,
Sorry,
no
that-
problem. I thought so. Okay. For some reason, I am not seeing the hands raised, but I saw Rosa raise her hand. Rosa, do you want to second that?
Yes, please.
Okay, so there's a motion to approve made by Jordan. It is seconded by Rosa. Marlene, if you could take the roll, please.
Adem Briha,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz,
Yes.
Judith Ferraro,
Yes.
Wanda Hopkins,
Yes.
and Jordan Wright.
Yes.
The motion carries.
All right, well, thank you for attending. I hope this time it works out for you, and thanks for coming back.
I do. Thank you guys so much.
Have a great night. Thanks again. Okay, so we'll go to the number two, please. Okay, so number two is Spaha Pizza LLC, doing business as Lexington Pizza Parlor. It's a renewal application for a wine, beer, and cider license for a restaurant at 1590 Lexington Avenue. That's on 101st Street. Marlene, I know they're not required to be here because I don't believe there are any 311s, but is anyone here from this establishment?
No, no one is here. When I did
Okay.
the roll call, I'm not sure if someone joined later, but no one is here.
Okay, well, they don't have 311s. I believe they submitted their, somebody has their hand up. Judith? You're on mute.
I was going to approve it.
Okay, that's fine. So there's a motion to approve by Judith. Do I have a second?
Second by Jordan.
Okay, so motion to approve by Jordan, by Judith, seconded by Jordan. Marlene, if you could take the roll, please.
Adem Briha,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz,
Yes.
Judith Ferraro,
Yes,
Wanda Hopkins,
Yes.
and Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Carlos Diaz is present.
Oh, okay, Carlos, what
Yeah,
is,
Yes,
okay, thanks.
Okay,
Motion carries.
thank you. Next slide, please, whenever you can. Okay, number three is Hudson Yards Catering LLC and New York Shakespeare Festival, doing business as Public Fare. It's a renewal application for a wine, beer, and cider license for a restaurant located at 63 Central Park West. Is anyone here from this establishment, Marlene, or this?
No,
Okay, well, again, same thing as the previous one. It is a renewal. I believe all their documents have been submitted and there were no 311s. So do I have a motion?
motion to approve, Carlos.
Okay, so there's a motion to approve by Carlos. Is there a second? Rosa, is that a second?
Yes, please.
Okay, so there is a motion to approve by Carlos. It has been seconded by Rosa. Marlene, if you could take the roll.
Adem Briha,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz,
Yes,
Rosa Diaz,
Yes.
Judith Ferraro,
Thank you.
yes,
Wanda Hopkins,
Yes.
and Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Next slide, please. Okay, number four, Antwerp J LLC, doing business as Bar Guyana, renewal application for a full liquor license for a restaurant located at 177 East 100th Street, that is on Lexington Avenue. Marlene, is anyone from this establishment here?
Yes,
Okay, whoever's here, you weren't required to, but feel free to speak since you're here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Do you want to say anything?
Do I get to talk? I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Just trying to renew our application and requesting some extra things we didn't have the first time around, being first time restaurant cocktail bar owners, and learning that, every time we pay a lawyer to do a change is an extra expense. So this time around, we just want to apply for, everything we can, like we learned that our neighbors do.
So I'm confused here. This is a renewal, but so what, if it's a renewal, what are you changing to the business?
Well, the first time around, we didn't ask for, we want to have live music. We also want to be able to do brunch specials. That's about it.
Well, and anyone correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe if you want to do live music, would that not be then a method of operation change? Marlene, am I correct on that or no?
Yes, it's a method of operation change.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
so,
sorry. I said yes too. I'm sorry.
no, that's fine. Whoever, I just want to make sure. I don't want any confusion. Okay, so, and then you said the brunch thing. I don't know, as long as you're not changing your hours, if you want to sell brunch, I don't think that that's an issue.
Yeah, it's not a real thing, and we're not even sure we want to do that because, it's not the route we want to go, but if we decide some point, I don't want to have to go through another application in the middle of a year.
Well, are you changing your hours from what they
No,
previously?
no.
No, you're not. Okay.
No.
So you would just be selling brunch within the hours you were already open?
Yes.
Okay, so then aside from brunch and wanting to include live music, is there anything else that would be changing from the application we?
No,
approved?
no.
Okay, no.
No, and
Oh.
also we don't intend to have live music all the time, but we are a Brazilian bar and every here and there we want to bring a bossa nova singer or something like that. So I want
Okay.
to be able to do without infringing our rules for our license.
Understood. Okay, I see a couple of hands, so I'm gonna see if the committee members have questions. So just be ready to answer them if they do. So it's gonna be Judith and Carlos.
Yeah, okay. On their 30-day notice, they don't have it marked as a sidewalk cafe, but if you look at the stipulation, they say, I will operate my sidewalk cafe no later than 10 p.m. So obviously, they're going to have a sidewalk cafe also. And my other question is live music. Do they have, is it, they have people living above them? I don't know. I mean, if they do, I don't know.
Yeah.
What this is. Yeah, so we just want to make sure that they're not going to be disrupted by live music. And what is a Brazilian jazz?
It's just, maybe one singer and a guitar. We are not changing what we're doing. Our space is very small, so we.
But do you have soundproofing or anything like?
Yes, we do. Because we did when we build and we send the first time around, we send the proof of that in the construction.
All
Okay.
right, and you want to have that sidewalk cafe, but it's not marked on their notice.
Well, we have the outdoor patio.
Which the lawyer applied for the first time as well.
Okay, so that's my question. The sidewalk cafe, this was, you had, because I don't remember, was this, if anyone, Judith, or Marlene, is it possible to look back while we're doing this to see what they applied for 2 years ago or what's been
I
on the
can't
record?
because I'm sharing my screen. I
Okay,
mean,
I'm gonna try to do that. Look, and again, anyone, Marlene, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the live music is something that we can really entertain tonight because you didn't submit in addition to your renewal, you would have had to have submitted a method of operation change as well. And without that, those paperwork and that submission, that's just not something we can approve tonight. What could possibly be done, and I can't speak for that committee or for the full board because I'm not the chair. It is possible that you could reach out after this meeting and to Marlene and see if our chair, who was on here, but I'm not sure if they're able to talk, see if they'd be willing to add you to executive committee or full board. If this is for this month, if this is something that you need urgently, if not, you could come back to this committee next month with that request. And then as to the sidewalk, you're gonna have to give me a minute because I'm gonna try to see if I could find this on the air table.
But could we move just to keep as is then, so we don't take the chance
Oh,
that.
we're gonna renew, what we'll do tonight, because this is a renewal, is we're gonna vote on your renewal. We're just gonna vote
Okay.
on your
Oh,
renewal
okay.
without the live music. Then if you want to proceed with the live music, I'm not saying that it's a problem. I'm just saying that you didn't submit the method of operation change application. So we are gonna vote on your renewal. That won't hold that up. It's just the live music can't happen until you submit the correct papers. That's just regarding the live music.
Okay, sounds
And
good.
I'm trying right now to see if I can go back to your previous applications. When was this? Okay. Give me a second. All right, I think I found an older one. Let's see what this says. When was this stuff dated? Judith, you don't have access to. Okay, I'm looking at something you submitted. I'm trying to figure out the date of this, but on these papers, I'm seeing that that you said you weren't using a sidewalk cafe. That's what I'm seeing. I'm just trying to figure out when you did this. 2020, 3/10/2020. It says that you were checking off that you didn't have a sidewalk cafe.
We didn't have the patio then, just because.
Okay. But right, I'm wondering, have you come back since that date?
Oh.
No,
You have-
I think our lawyer went straight to SLA because I think the outdoor seating, because it's covered, is part of the building or something. I can ask the lawyer to send the paperwork.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure he applied for that, so.
Okay, I'm just not seeing it here. Judith, go ahead, your hand's up.
I was just curious, what time are you open till? It says 22. What does 22 mean?
Isn't that 10 o'clock, 10 PM?
10 p.m.
10 p.m.
It's just
So
military
22
time.
is 10 PM? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's military time. It goes on.
I was just gonna say I wasn't in the army, so I don't know.
Neither was I. Okay, so I wish I could give this a deeper look right now, but I can only do the best with trying to run the meeting and looking back at older documents. What I'm seeing does not show a sidewalk cafe. So, what we can, I guess Judith or Marlene, if they're indicating now that they want to have a sidewalk cafe, can we approve that, or is that something that still has to go through like a DCAS or something like that? Is there a separate paperwork for that?
So they have to indicate it, or the SLA will send in the deficiency notice, will say that they didn't tell us. So it has to be indicated on the 30-day notice, because it wasn't indicated and you guys didn't know.
Gotcha.
So when they come back for the method,
They can do it.
they could just indicate it on the notice when they come back for the method of operation change. And they could do that next month if they would like.
Okay, so this is what we'll do then. We're going to vote on this, and if anybody has any objections, feel free to speak. But what we'll do to, Carlos, your hand's up?
Yeah, I just want to ask them a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
That when they do apply for the music, to let us know that the place is soundproof, because we are not asking that from everybody. they could give us something in writing stating that it's soundproof, and it'd be great.
Okay.
Well, when we
know,
first
yes,
time applied, we send details of that. We send pictures of the stuff being installed, you know, the installation stuff being installed.
Okay,
Okay,
well, if you have records of that, maybe you could just resend it when you, okay, so
Right.
then I'm gonna try to like package this so it's easy for us to proceed with. Tonight, we're going to vote on this renewal, and we're gonna vote on it that we're not granting a sidewalk cafe and we're not granting live music. We're just gonna vote on the renewal for the business without the live music, without the sidewalk cafe. Then you're welcome to submit another 30-day notice for a method of operation change. And you can come back next month for the live music and also indicate on your 30-day notice a sidewalk cafe. And we just ask that when you come back for that live music component, that you could just email some evidence that you did in fact install soundproofing. It's
Yep.
possible we have them in our records, but it would just make it easier if you could send that along. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's fine.
Okay, all right then. Then do I have any, if I don't have any other questions or comments, would somebody from the committee like to make a motion? And when you do, just state that we are approving this renewal, or we're recommending the approval of this renewal without the live music and without the sidewalk cafe. Just state that for the record.
I'll make a
Okay,
motion.
go ahead, Judith.
That
Thank you.
we approve, as it was, without the live music and without the sidewalk cafe.
Okay, so there's a motion to approve this renewal without the sidewalk cafe and without the live music by Judith. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right,
I'll
seconded by
second.
Carlos. Sorry, Rosa, I didn't see the hand. till-
Rosa, I give it to Rosa.
Okay, so then Carlos has generously deferred to Rosa, so motion to approve by Judith, seconded by Rosa. Marlene, if you could take the roll, please.
Adem Briha,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz,
Thank you, Mr. Diaz. Yes.
You're welcome.
Judith Ferraro,
Approve.
Wanda Hopkins,
Yes.
and Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, to the applicant, good luck, and we hope to see you next month then. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, so that is all for liquor licenses tonight, and now we'll go into street activity permits. I believe we have two. The first one, number 5 on our agenda is, well, it says Cinco de Mayo Fiesta, Single Block Festival. It is on May 7th, 2023. Setup is 7 a.m., breakdown is 6 p.m. It is located on 116th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues. It is a full street closure. And I believe I see the applicant, Mr. Garcia, on. So with that being said, the floor is yours if you'd like to share anything that you'd like to share.
Oh, well, hi, this is Alex Garcia. Thank you for having me. I don't know if you have any questions for me.
We'll see. I mean, okay, we'll see from the committee. I personally don't at the moment. Does anybody from the committee have any questions, comments, concerns, or anybody from the public? All right, Carlos?
Yeah, one of the things that we've had with a couple of festivals on 116th Street is the garbage pickup, because the sanitation comes once or twice a day. And usually when these events take place, those garbage cans get very full. And because you have not only the people throwing the garbage in, but the people that are vendors are throwing their boxes all over the place. And we just want to make sure that that's taken care of, because if not, we're gonna have a major problem with sanitation, and we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. But do you have people that will help bag up the garbage cans in the corners?
Oh, yeah, I usually contact the sanitation department. I can send Marlene copy of the contract, which states, that they come in and pick up our garbage bags. And I also have a cleaning crew that they go around during the festival, to collect, garbage bags, so this way we don't have too much garbage to collect at the end of the festival. That's what we usually do.
Okay, great, because that's very important, because usually it gets piled up and people start complaining. We just want to make sure that you got your crew helping out as well. Thank
Yeah.
you.
We always try to comply with, the city and the community, to make sure that we keep, doing our festivals. I mean, this is going to be our 7th year now. So we are grateful, for the community that is letting us, keep doing this festival. I mean, this Cinco de Mayo festival.
Okay, thank you. Carlos, you have any other questions?
No, that is all. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Do I have any other questions, comments, or concerns? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the permit for May 7th.
Okay,
And I second it. I second it.
so there is a motion to approve the Cinco de Mayo Single Block Festival by Carlos. It is seconded by Judith. Marlene, if you could take the roll, please.
Adem Briha,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz,
Yes.
Judith Ferraro,
Yes,
Wanda Hopkins,
Yes.
and Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Marlene, I see
Yes.
Eugene joined. I don't know
You
if he,
joined? Okay.
I see him.
was-
I don't know if he wants to vote or not. Yep.
Okay.
Yes, I do, and I vote yes.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you, Eugene.
The motion carries.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care. All right, next slide, please. I believe this is the final one. It is number 6, Remembering Our Loved Ones, Block Party, May 20th, 2023, setup 11 a.m., breakdown 8 p.m. Location is East 132nd between Madison and Fifth Avenue. It's a full street closure. And is the applicant on?
No, she isn't required to come. She's in her 2nd consecutive year as per your.
Okay,
rules.
that's fine. And I believe they submitted everything that's required. So they're not here. I mean, if anyone has a question, I'll do my best to answer it, but I only have the documents you have. So if not, I'll just entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll
Okay,
second.
there's a motion to
Second.
approve by Carlos. Eugene, I see your hand up. You like to second that?
Yes, second.
All right.
Oh, good.
So there's a motion to approve by Carlos, seconded by Eugene. Marlene, if you could take the roll.
Adem Briha,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz,
Yes.
Judith Ferraro,
yes,
Wanda Hopkins, Eugene Rodriguez,
Yes,
and Jordan Wright.
Yes.
The motion carries.
All right, thank you. Next slide, please. All right, I don't have any old business. Does anybody else have any old business? Okay, no, next slide, please. Same thing. I don't have any new business. Does anyone have any new business? Okay, no, thank you. Next slide. All right, Marlene, I don't think we need to take the roll. We just did a vote, so if I can skip that, I'd be happy to.
You can take it for the record, but you know. that's
Okay, you want to take it? It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead.
Adem Briha,
Present.
Carlos Diaz,
Present.
Rosa Diaz,
Present.
Angela Donadell is excused, Judith Ferraro,
have a good night, everybody.
Wanda Hopkins,
Yes, I'm here.
Eugene Rodriguez,
present.
and Jordan Wright.
Present.
Thanks.
Thank
Night,
you.
everyone.
Night, everyone. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Good night, adjourned.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.